Good evening, everyone. If I can ask you to take your seats, please. Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome to this very special event, the 27th Annual Hofstra Gala. My name is Alan Kelly and I serve as the Vice President for Development and Alumni Affairs and your MC for this evening. On behalf of the university, I want to thank you for joining us. It is a terrific night for a celebration. The annual Hofstra Gala is incredibly important to our university community. Not only do we raise significant support for scholarships, but we honor an individual whose connection to Hofstra deserves considerable recognition. This year we honor Dr. Kathleen Gallo, Kathy, who has been an incredible leader and founding dean of our Northwell School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies. Tonight's event honors all that Kathy has achieved throughout her entire career in healthcare, as well as all that she has accomplished here at Hofstra. And you will hear a lot more about Kathy later in the program. The Gala's success is due to the commitment and hard work of many people. So I ask that the members of the Gala Dinner Committee please rise to be recognized. Don't be shy. Please stand up. Thank you for all your efforts. It's now my privilege to recognize the following members of the university's Board of Trustees who are with us this evening. Trustee and past president of the alumni organization, Fred Davis. Trustee Jerry Kremer. Trustee Diana Lake. Trustee David Mack. Trustee Stella Mendez. Former chair of the board, Trustee Marilyn Monter. The chair of Hofstra's board, Donald Schaefer. And Trustee Leonard Shapiro. Thank you for joining us tonight. Also, allow me to recognize the current president of the Hofstra Alumni Organization, Hillary Sirota Needle. Woo! As well as current officers Heather Cohn, Rondell Westcott, and Jonathan Miller, and Alumni Organization past president Dan DiStefano. Thank you very much. We are so grateful for the generous support we receive for this event, and allow me to formally thank our sponsors for their investment in our university and in tonight. President Circle sponsors Sandra and David Mack. Benefactor sponsors Northwell Health and Patricia and Frank G. Zarb. Our scholar sponsors Barnes & Noble College, Carol and Alan J. Burnham, Dr. Lawrence Herbert, Hofstra Northwell School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies, and Northwell Center for Learning and Innovation, Mary and Peter S. Calico, Joseph and Libby Shapiro Family Foundation, Leonard and Carol Shapiro Family Foundation, RXR. And our patron sponsors, Doreen and Michael DiDomenico, the Faye J. Lindner Foundation, Tony and Martin Sosnoff, and Structured Tone. And I also want to thank our cocktail reception underwriter, Campus Dining by Compass Group. Thank you so much for all your support tonight. Now it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium the chair of Hofstra's Board of Trustees, Donald Schaefer.
Thank you, Alan. Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome you to Hofstra University's 27th Annual Gala, honoring the founding dean of the Hofstra Northwell School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies, Dr. Kathleen Gallo. We are here this evening to celebrate her significant contributions to our university and the community. First, I want to thank the Gala Committee for all their hard work to make tonight's celebration a success, for the students who benefit from scholarships, and for our extraordinary honoree. I also want to thank all of you for joining us here this evening. Tonight's honoree has dedicated her life to improving health care as a nurse, an administrator, and as an educator. Kathleen Gallo believes that the patient-centered care begins with transforming the education of the clinicians who care for them. Throughout her career, both at Northwell Health and here at Hofstra, she has challenged the status quo, sought out best practices from other industries, and created systems that focus on not just what students learn, but how they learn it. From creating a patient simulation center based on fighter pilot training, to applying a case-based, student-centered learning model to the nursing school, Dr. Gallo's goal has been to build a culture of lifelong learning and a pipeline of clinical leaders who will keep pushing forward and exploring new ideas, as Kathleen Gallo has done throughout her exemplary career. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I thank you, Dr. Gallo, for your compassion, your leadership, and your commitment to healthcare and healthcare education. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of Hofstra University, Dr. Susan Poser. Enjoy your evening, everyone.
Thank you, Don. Well, good evening and welcome to Hofstra University's 2023 Gala. It's an honor to join you here in celebration of Hofstra University and of our trailblazing honoree, Dr. Kathy Gallo. Now, I arrived on campus almost 2 years ago as the university was still navigating the COVID-19 pandemic. So it is fitting that as the pandemic comes to an end, we honor the brilliant and energetic person who helped navigate us through those challenging times. Of course, that's Kathy Gallo. But first, I want to begin by thanking the Development and Alumni Affairs team for their incredible work on this event. I saw Speedy Claxton a little earlier, and I'll bet he didn't know where he was. Doesn't look like a basketball court. And I want to thank all of you for being here and for your generosity and support of this wonderful university. So I hope that you will indulge me for a few moments as I provide a little bit of an update on what's been going on since the last time I stood before you at this gala just about a year ago. Now, I always say, and I firmly believe, that one of the most important things that someone in my position can do, maybe the most important, is to hire well. And I might say quite immodestly that I've been very, very good at that this year. Last July, we welcomed Dr. Charlie Reardon as Hofstra's Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. He came to us from the University of Delaware, where he was serving as the Vice President for Research and Innovation. Charlie is already making a huge difference at Hofstra and has been a great partner. Charlie, will you still please stand? Let us acknowledge you. Also last summer, we welcomed Dr. David Battinelli as the new Dean of the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra Northwell. David, of course, has been around for a while. We all know him already, and he is turning out to be a wonderful Dean of Medicine. David, where are you? Please stand. I don't know where you are. Okay. In early 2023, we hired a new Vice President of Marketing and Communication, Dr. Terry Coniglio. Terry joined us from Georgia State University and has hit the ground running, and I think we all feel like she's been here already forever. Terry, can you please stand? Let us acknowledge you. Thank you. Around the same time, we brought on our first Associate to the President for Government and Community Affairs, Shonda Washington. Shonda came to us from the mayor's office in Washington, D.C., where she was the director of communications for the mayor. After just a couple of months, I know for sure that Shonda has met more community and government officials than I have in my 2 years, and it's wonderful to have Shonda on the team. Shonda, can you please stand so we can acknowledge you? Thank you. I do believe, and I say this without exaggeration, that I have the best senior leadership team in higher education right now. So will all of you please stand up and let us acknowledge you, even the old timers? Thank you. This coming July, we will have a new permanent dean for the Hofstra College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Dr. Eva Badowski will join us from Fordham University, where she currently serves as Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank Dean Dan Siebold, who's done an excellent job in the role over the past few years. I don't think Dan is here with us tonight, but I also want to thank and acknowledge Holly Syrup, who stepped down last summer, for her leadership as the Dean of the School of Health Professions and Human Services. I do think I caught a glimpse of Holly. Are you here? Okay. I really can't see anything from here. After a national search for Dr. Syrup's successor, we announced just today that Dr. Reginald J. Alston, Associate Dean for Undergraduate and Graduate Academic Affairs at the College of Applied Health Sciences at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, will be the new Dean of the School of Health Professions and Human Services, and he will begin in August. There were many other hires across the university over the past year, including 27 new faculty. And in athletics, we appointed the university's first ever Associate Director for Mental Health Services. I also want to note that next month, the Dean of the Maurice A. Dean School of Law, Gail Prudenti, will be retiring from the university. I know that you would like to join me in thanking Gail for her outstanding service leading the law school over the past 7 years. Is Gail still here? Can you stand, Gail, if you're here? Okay, thank you. And now just a few examples of what else has been going on at Hofstra University. Our students have received many honors over the past year. I want to mark one in particular, and that is Hofstra College of Arts and Sciences biochemistry student Antonio Collado, who was recently named a Goldwater Scholar. The Lawrence Herbert School of Communication continues to rack up awards. Just last week, it was named one of the top film schools in North America by Variety magazine. 4 students in the Herbert School received Gracie Awards this spring, and one of them, Fatima Moyen, was chosen by WABC-TV to be featured on the daytime talk show The View, where she actually found out that she had received this award. The student radio station, WRHU, continues to be award-winning, landing its 4th Marconi Award this year. The first class of doctoral students in the School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies graduated last December. We're very proud of them. And all 63 physician assistant graduates passed their certifying exam on the first attempt. The Fred DeMatteis School of Engineering has been selected by Cornell University's Breakthrough Tech AI program to host a summer program on machine learning for women college students this summer, and that will happen at Hofstra University. And last month, the students in the Zarb School of Business opened a student-run and developed store that offers Zarb-branded merchandise to the Hofstra community and elsewhere, so go get your t-shirts. The mock trial teams at Hofstra's Maurice A. Dean School of Law won the regional round of the American Bar Association's National Appellate Advocacy Competition, and 4 first-year Hofstra Law students were named 2023 New York City Bar Association Diversity Fellows this year. The faculty has also been recognized for their work, and I'm just going to give a few examples. Adjunct Professor of Music Donald Vega was awarded a Guggenheim Fellowship this year. That's an extremely prestigious fellowship. Math Professor Behelu Mamo received the 2023 Distinguished Teaching Award from the Metropolitan New York section of the Mathematical Association of America. And Professor of Rhetoric and Public Advocacy Tamika Robinson received the Phi Kappa Delta National Forensics Award for her outstanding scholarly contribution to the discipline of intercollegiate forensics. And earlier this year, Associate Professor of Music Adam Glazier was invited to be the guest conductor of the New Jersey Symphony for a concert where the renowned violinist Hilary Hahn was soloing. That was a really marvelous honor for him. There's also been a lot of activity on campus this year, and again, just mention a couple of things. A couple of weeks ago, we hosted Hofstra's 13th Presidential Conference, welcoming 500 scholars, government leaders, journalists, and community members to the campus to analyze and engage in dialogue about the presidency of Barack Obama. This conference was sponsored by the Peter S. Calico School of Government, Public Policy, and International Affairs and the Hofstra Cultural Center in partnership with the Barack Obama Presidential Library and the National Archives. It was an absolutely amazing conference. Hofstra University's We've been holding these presidential conferences for about 40 years, starting with an analysis of the presidency of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Also last month, Hofstra University and our School of Engineering and Applied Sciences was selected to join a pipeline initiative to help build careers in and workforce for the semiconductor industry in the United States, which is something that's sorely lacking and that we really need for our security. This initiative is a partnership with Micron Corporation and the National Science Foundation, sponsored with the assistance of Majority Leader Senator Schumer. And it involves over 20 universities across the Northeast with strengths in the STEM disciplines. And we had our first meeting just a few weeks ago up at Columbia University. This summer, we will continue the important work of updating the university's strategic plan, and progress continues on the completion of the new Science and Innovation Building, which will host the School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies, as well as several departments from the School of Engineering. We anticipate a celebratory ribbon-cutting ceremony for that massive building, beautiful building, and when everyone is back on campus in the fall. Athletics has had a very good year. Both men's and women's soccer teams repeated as CAA conference champions last fall and advanced to the NCAA tournament. Yay. 2 of our wrestling students qualified for the NCAA championship, and our men's basketball team won the CAA regular season and upset top-seeded, number 1 seeded Rutgers in the first round of the NIT. And men's basketball coach Speedy Claxton was named the CAA Coach of the Year. And perhaps most importantly, our student athletes also excelled in the classroom, compiling an average GPA of 3.42 this past fall. And finally, the Hofstra dance team was chosen to represent the United States at the National Cheerleading Competition, competing in the Premier Palm category, and I am proud to say that they won and they came back as world champions. So there is much, much more to tell you and much, much more that I'm so proud of here at Hofstra. But I will stop and move on. And we now come to a really special part of the evening, which is the announcement of this year's Teachers of the Year. As I continue to meet Hofstra alumni and speak to students, the most common thread through their Hofstra experiences has been the connection that they have made with their professors and the difference that those professors have made in their lives. And so I am delighted tonight to continue the tradition at this annual gala of recognizing the importance and excellence of teaching at Hofstra. Every year, graduating students in each school vote on the professor who has been most impactful to them as a teacher and a mentor. And these faculty members are awarded the title of Teacher of the Year. So it is my privilege to recognize them this evening. I ask our awardees to please stand when I call your name and remain standing until all names are called, and please try to hold your applause till the end. So the 2022-2023 Teachers of the Year are, from the Fred DeMatteis School of Engineering and Applied Science, Jian Fu, Professor of Computer Science. From the Frank G. Zarb School of Business, Andrew M. Foreman, Associate Professor of Marketing, International Business, and Legal Studies. From the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication, Brian F. McFadden, Assistant Professor of Journalism, Media Studies, and Public Relations. There are several from the Hofstra School of College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. First, from the School of Education, Alan D. Flurkey, Professor and Chair of the Department of Specialized Programs in Education. From the School of Humanities, Fine and Performing Arts, Stephen Smith, the John Cranford Adams Distinguished Professor of Comparative Literature, Languages, and Linguistics. From the Calico School of Government, Public Policy, and International Affairs, Julie Byrne, Monsignor Thomas Hartman Chair in Catholic Studies and Chair of the Department of Religion. From the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, Jessica R. Santangelo, Associate Professor of Biology. From the School of Health Professions and Human Services, Maureen Hackett, Chair of the Department of Population Health. From the Hofstra Northwell School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies, Donna Willenbrock, Assistant Professor of Nursing. The Maurice A. Dean School of Law, James Sample, Professor of Law. And from the Zucker School of Medicine at Hofstra Northwell, for the first 100 weeks at the school, Joanne Willey, Chair and Professor in the Department of Science Education. And from the second 100 weeks, Geinosuke Sugiyama, Professor in the Department of Surgery. And this year, we are also recognizing two additional awards, Mentor of the Year and the Lawrence A. Stessen Prize for Outstanding Scholarly Publication. Our Mentor of the Year is Ibrahim Karaye, Assistant Professor of Population Health. The Stessen Prize winners are Salvador Rojas Murillo, Assistant Professor of Engineering, and Matthew Smiley, Assistant Professor of Physics and Astronomy. Please join me in congratulating this exceptional group of educators and scholars. Thank you. Now, as you know, of course, we are all here tonight to honor the marvelous Kathy Gallo, and at the same time, raise money for scholarships for our students. I'm delighted to tell you that tonight's event has already raised over $970,000, and all of that will go towards scholarships for students who want to pursue a career in nursing or physician assistant studies. In addition, of special note this evening is a gift we received in addition to that amount that I just announced. We are delighted to announce a $5.25 million gift for student scholarships from the Stanley Sorority Foundation for the School of Nursing and PA Studies. This gift is one of the largest in the university's history and provides tremendous opportunity for our students. So with fundraising and this additional gift, this is our most successful gala fundraising ever. Now, it is only fitting that we share the news of this magnificent investment as we celebrate a pioneer, a trailblazer, a dedicated educator, medical professional, and colleague, Dr. Kathleen Gallo, the founding dean of the Hofstra Northwell School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies, and executive in residence at Northwell Health. With her entrepreneurial spirit and emergency medicine experience, Kathy has built a career focused on creating sustainable systems for learning and leadership development, and designing programs that have helped faculty to think differently about healthcare and about education. When Hofstra, like the rest of the world, had to mobilize quickly because of the pandemic, Dr. Gallo was our North Star. She worked tirelessly on many aspects of Hofstra's response to the pandemic, and she collaborated with her Hofstra and Northwell colleagues to stand up a comprehensive COVID-19 testing program that evolved to adjust to the ever-changing environment. And through her leadership, Hofstra had one of the lowest infection rates among colleges and universities in the state of New York. Dr. Gallo is an extraordinary team player, and she has a remarkable belief in service, which she puts into action every day. This was true of her work in responding to COVID. It was true in her co-chairing the search committee that led to the most successful search for our new provost, and in serving as interim dean of the School of Health Professions this past year. And I am only talking about her service during the time that I have known her, which is only about 20 months. And she was doing all of that while she was also serving as the full-time dean of the School of Nursing and Physician Assistant Studies. And there is so much more. So I could go on and on about her, but instead, let's listen to some others and watch a video that's been prepared for this occasion.
I fell in love with the culture of healthcare. The quick pace of it, the professionalism of it, caring for people, and knowing that you needed an exceptional knowledge base and you need to be a lifelong learner. I always thought I would go into business. I just wanted to go to work in Manhattan. And then over time, I became very bored with that idea. And I thought, well, let me try nursing.
She was going to make some enormous mark on this world. I'm glad it was nursing. I'm glad for us. I'm glad for Northwell. The first thing that I saw was how she handled COVID. And she had really run our public health response. Not only did she set it up, but she was there 10 hours a day. I think she's an incredibly strong leader.
She taught us from our first day going forward to not be afraid to take the initiative and to take the first step, because there's always going to be a first.
Well, I never felt like I was blazing a trail. I was just doing my own trail. I was never looking for the next job, just more knowledge. And I spent 25, 30 years from staff nurse all the way up to director, vice president of emergency services. At that point, I finished my PhD and I was just finishing my MBA. And I thought, all right, now what will I do with all this stuff?
Kathy's a builder. It's not about the moment. It's about where you're going.
I was asked to be the chief learning officer at Northwell Health. Mike Dowling created that role for healthcare. I was the first chief learning officer in healthcare. I had no idea what those people did.
And I remember handing her a document I had written and said, this is the idea. Now take it and make it into something special.
I knew we had to think about a different way of educating and training our clinicians. And I did some research and met one of the founders of JetBlue, Mike Borgia, and he was the top gun in the Navy. And I asked him, how do you train fighter pilots? And he told me, in a simulator.
In designing the Patient Safety Institute, the technologies that they embraced early on are expanding into other industries to learn best practices and then apply that to the nursing school. That was transformative.
I think Kathy knows how to go fast without breaking things. And that's one of the things I really admire about her. And I saw her do it at Hofstra, where she had a lot of vision for change.
Kathy is never a person that's going to say, don't try. Kathy is somebody that's going to say, let's look at the innovation
We get case studies and we go and we research it and we come out and we present these learning objectives and teach it back to our peers. You can't find that elsewhere, and that's what makes Hofstra so special.
Having a first-rate nursing school for undergraduates right here on Long Island, it's going to have a huge impact. And that building is going to be filled with, state-of-the-art equipment. It's going to be a great way to recruit.
Day one, they came in with all these blueprints of this building. Getting to watch it kind of come to life is incredible. We're going to have state-of-the-art classrooms with simulation patients. We're also going to have a whole operating room simulation.
You just can't stand back and say, we're going to have a nursing shortage and not do anything. We got to create the pipeline for new nurses to get into the field, and that's what we're doing. So I look upon this as an opportunity for us to do things more creatively than we've ever done before.
I was told, I think by Michael Dowling, that you never ask Kathy to do something
If you don't want it done.
Because she will just go do it.
When we came into the school, we just thought, oh, we're going to be nurses. That's all we're going to be. We all love the profession, but she opened her eyes to see that there is so much more that we could do with nursing, and that we can be educators, we can be management, all things that just come from having a degree in nursing.
As I look back, no regrets. Wouldn't have done it any differently. Never knew what the outcome was going to be, but that was okay. I love doing it.
I think she did it all because nobody ever told her you can't do it all.
What a wonderful tribute. Kathy, will you please come to the stage? So, Kathy, it's been such a privilege to work with you and to learn your incredible story and to have the opportunity to honor you this evening. You've done so much for Hofstra University and for Northwell and for the future of medical education. So we have a little memento for you. And I'll just say it reads, Kathleen Gallo, in recognition of your accomplishments, service, and dedication to Hofstra University. Thank you. Thank you. We can put the flowers in it. Yeah. Thank you. All right, you're on your own. Okay.
Well, good evening, everybody. Chairman of the Board, Donald Schaefer, President Posa, Vice President for Development and Alumni Affairs, and our Chief Development Officer, Alan Kelly, our Master of Ceremonies, and all of the guests here this evening. This gift that we just received from the Sorority Foundation is just an incredible surprise. Being here tonight, sharing this celebratory evening with all of you is truly an honor. This gift from the Sorority Foundation is nothing short of amazing. Thank you, wherever you are, Sorority Foundation, for your generosity and your faith and your trust in us. You are providing much needed financial support for education, including nursing education. There are 4 million nurses in this country today. We, nurses, are the largest of the healthcare workforce. However, there is an expectation that 1 million nurses will be retiring by 2030. With these retirements looming and the strain that the COVID pandemic has had on the nursing workforce, this loss of 1 million nurses will have a substantial impact on the delivery of healthcare in this nation. Scholarships for our undergraduate program not only provide access to young women and men to become frontline registered nurses, but RNs are the pipeline to advanced practice nurses such as nurse practitioners and nurse anesthetists. The advanced practice clinical workforce, which includes our physician's assistants, provides extraordinary access to care to all in society. We cannot thank the Sorority Foundation enough for their generosity, and thank you, everybody here tonight, and those that have supported this gala for your notable generosity. The outcomes of these scholarships will stretch far beyond the walls of Hofstra University and will have a major impact on society at large. Now, all of us at the School of Nursing are filled with inspiration and hope as we see the excitement and commitment of our newly minted undergraduate nursing students, our nurse practitioner and nurse anesthetist students, our cardiac perfusion students, and our physician assistant students. These students and those who have graduated from our programs are the shining light and hope for the patients and the communities that they serve. Now, we all have our own healthcare story. It may be personal, it might be a family member, or a close friend. The clinical workforce that we educate and send to serve our communities is a critical asset for the well-being of our families and our communities. Now, it would be remiss not to mention the combined educational resources of the school's founders, both Hofstra University and Northwell Health. Those combined resources have made everything we do possible and that we will continue to do. And I have to thank also the visionaries for the idea of the nursing school. Michael Dowling is the CEO and president of Northwell Health and the former president of Hofstra University. Now, our COVID response was systematic and effective due to the partnership of Hofstra and Northwell. And I'd also like to recognize the original architects of the School of Nursing back in 2014 and 2015. Many are here this evening, some are retired and are not. Barbara DeVoe, Anne-Marie Freed, Barbara Callahan, Jennifer Saletta, Michael Cassara, Mary Ann Dumas, Kerry Scanlon, Terry Shapiro, and our colleagues from the School of Medicine, David Battinelli, Larry Smith, Samara Ginsberg, and David Elkowitz. Our goal right from the beginning, when we all sat down, was to create an innovative nursing school that would graduate high-quality, scientifically sound, practice-ready clinicians that could easily be identified as a Hofstra Northwell graduate. And that goal has been realized. Our past graduates and our NP graduates, who will be graduating in about 2.5 weeks, were the frontline COVID workforce. Along with many of our faculty, they worked day and night during the height of the surges, in the ICUs, in the emergency departments. Their dedication and commitment to their patients was nothing less than extraordinary. And these are the same folks, the same students that got the work done that they had to do to complete the program, and the same faculty that would be in the ICU one night and 2 days later be with the students. When I started my career some 50 years ago, I would have never foreseen this moment tonight. And while I might be the honoree tonight, this was no solo act. Healthcare is a team sport. Working as a team provides a safety net when caring for patients and their communities. So to our extraordinary interprofessional faculty and preceptors who have joined our school as our programs have grown, thank you for your commitment to innovation and excellence in education. Now, what separates our school from others is that our interprofessional faculty and preceptors are exceptional clinical experts who are in practice caring for their patients when they're not teaching our students. And finally, to my husband, Len, of 45 years, will be 46 years this year. My two sons and their wonderful wives, Thomas and Amanda, and Matthew and Jacqueline. And my very active and beautiful 6 grandchildren. Thank you for the love and support that you have shown me during my nursing journey. In closing, Dr. Posa, where's Dr. Posa? There you are. I can't express my gratitude enough to you for the overwhelming support that you have given me since you arrived on campus. Of course, I think I was in scrubs and we were in the PEB and we were testing, but you've always been a big supporter, and I thank you. And Provost Reardon, you are somewhere, there you are. Thank you for your support. And I wish all of you the best of luck, new deans, and with Dr. Posa at the helm of this university, the future is bright and wonderful. So thank you all, and have a great evening.
Congratulations, Kathy. Can we have one more round of applause for our honoree tonight? Thank you so much. We are all incredibly proud of your work with Hofstra and all that you've contributed to the healthcare field during your career, so thanks so much. This event has been enormously successful thanks to each of you, and we're grateful for your ongoing support. Your investment contributes greatly to the success of the university and to the ongoing success of our students, faculty, and institution. This is the end of the formal program, but I'd ask everybody to stay in their seats while we serve dinner. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the night.